Now, I have alluded to this throughout the video, but it is time for me to formally address this criticism that I hear constantly that Anakin's turn was not earned. I truly do not understand this criticism. There are a lot of legitimate problems that the prequels have that bother people, and I totally understand, even if some of them don't necessarily bother me as much. But this is one that I legitimately do not understand. I think they planted the seeds perfectly. I think they built up to it perfectly. It was absolutely earned. This was a kid who was taken from his mom when he was young, 9 years old, so old enough to remember her and have formed a serious relationship with her, but too young to really know how to handle it. He's training with the Jedi for 10 years, doesn't see his mom or the love of his life for those 10 years. Palpatine strokes his ego from the beginning. He's in his ear from the start. Will watch your career with great interest. The love of his life comes back into his life after 10 years of not seeing her. Again, Jedi did not teach him how to properly deal with his emotions, so he does not know how to handle that. He's awkward, he is emotional, he's insecure, and then his mom dies after not seeing her for those same 10 years, after he had dreams about it that told him this was going to happen. Padme then falls in love with him. They get married. He has dreams about her, furthering his fear of loss, the same types of dreams that he had about his mom. He is so obsessed with saving her and making sure that she survives, gets revenge on Dooku, and kills an unarmed prisoner. Palpatine continues to stroke his ego, telling him he's the best Jedi in the world, he'd be the right choice for this mission, the council should make him a master. While they are denying all of these requests, sowing further mistrust in the Jedi from Anakin's perspective. He is so afraid of Padme dying. He does not trust the Jedi. He trusts Palpatine more, and he knows that Palpatine is the person who can save Padme. And with all of that, he was still probably going to do the right thing. Despite all of this sowing in his head, he's like, I am going to turn him in to the Jedi Council because it's the right thing to do. He had really matured up until this point, but the Padme's rumination scene was the tipping point, and all came to a head, and he just decided he could not let Palpatine die. He was too important to him. Despite all of that, he still tried to convince Mace Windu to spare Palpatine and let him stand trial instead. Again, Mace was in the right here, but Anakin tried. And most importantly, he had a come-to-God moment here. He had to make a choice. Let Palpatine die or save him and therefore save his wife. He decided on the latter. He just couldn't let Palpatine die. He was too important to him. And at this point, after he assisted in the death of Mace Windu, what was he supposed to do? I mean, is he going to go back to the Jedi? Whoops, I accidentally killed one of our highest-ranking members. Of course not. This was the point of no return. He had to go full Darth Vader at this point. I don't understand what else he could have done. So even if you want to say that prior to this, his turn wasn't earned, this was his come-to-God moment, and he made the wrong choice. So there was no turning back. This is a criticism I seriously have never understood.